Hi everybody, it's Saturday. Welcome to Side Dish. It's me, Doug. Tonight we are back to our normal production crew. Thank you, Teresa, for coming out last week and helping out. You did a great job. I know you were super nervous, but I want to thank you. Amy is behind the computer. Denise is doing runaround, and our friend Paige P. Hurley is in the house tonight. And so we're going to be making two things, one drink and one thing. We're going to make Fundito, Queso Fundido. It's going to be so Fundito. So
I think you're putting a T in there. There's not a T.
Fundito.
There you go.
Fundito. And then we're also going to be making a classic Mexican drink called a paloma, which is tequila, grapefruit juice, sparkling water, lime juice, and you can use agave nectar or simple syrup. We're going to use simple syrup because, well, I have 3 bottles this big, so it's all good. But let's just get started because this is going to take about 25 minutes in total to do all of this fun stuff. Oh, Gus is also here, so you probably hear that craziness.
Gus is in the house.
So what I've got here is I went to a local carniceria called Tres Amigos here in Sparks, and they make their own chorizo. This isn't a casing, but we want it out of the casing. So it ain't going to look great. I can tell you that. Whoa, Amy's phone is blowing up.
Because people are telling me that looks yuck.
That's not what they're saying. You didn't even look yet. Look, I'm not going to say that it doesn't look, it's very suggestive in 2 ways, and it's not great. So, but I know it's going to taste good because everything I've gotten from there, and you should look at it. If you live in the Reno Sparks area and you want to get some great carne asada or anything else, they make their own crema. They make their own cojita cheese. It's really great. They also have fresh masa that they make and they sell by the bag. So if you wanted, didn't want to go through the big.
You told a story about that earlier, and I didn't understand. You were going to make your own masa, but then you decided you just get it fresh from them.
Yeah, I was going to lie to you folks. Is basically what was going to happen. As I was going to tell you, I made this earlier, but I didn't. I just bought it. I didn't buy it actually, but because I was like, that's too much. I'll probably make them eventually, but I want to get a decent recipe on how to make it from like scratch, and not even from like the masa mix from the bag, because there's got to be a traditional way that it's done. And we're not traditional here, but we'll figure it out. Get that whatever that is, pig nuts usually. Oh, it's very sticky.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got this. I'm going to set this up on a medium-high, sort of a medium.
So now will that crumble?
Yeah, that's the goal. Let's get a food flicker, as Amy calls them, and that way we can break it up a little bit once it's in here. I'm going to actually let this heat up so the cast iron gets nice and hot. Everything is going to happen right here. Nothing else is we don't need any other dishes. You don't need any other mixing things. What? I know it's a first for us.
One pot.
It is a 1 pot, but you will want to if you have a broiler on your oven, you want to put it on high because we're going to finish this off in there and we're going to get it nice and brown, nice and bubbly,
and
like
yummy.
Little brown bits on the top. It's going to be really good. So this is a poblano pepper. We want this, but I also want it was in the place where poblano peppers are, so I hope it is one. But it doesn't really matter. It's going to have the same, we'll see. I'm only using 1 instead of the 2 that I think you would want to, because I just want it to have a little hint of it. I don't want it to be
Our poblano peppers aren't spicy, are
No,
they?
they're not. But I do just want.
That seems like a lot of pepper.
This is a very large pepper. If I put 2 this size in there,
That's too much.
It's gonna be too much. We have 2 medium, small, white, yellow onions, some cilantro, some Roma tomatoes, and these 2 are like just to top it. I also have Oaxaca cheese, and it's like sort of like a soft mozzarella-esque cheese. I mean, it looks like, it's a white cheese that's been stretched.
You
and then-
tasted it. What does it taste like?
I mean, if you were to ask me, it's a little bit more. It's very similar to mozzarella. So I'm pretty close. Maybe in a pinch you could use mozzarella. I don't know. I would.
Is it salty-ish?
Mm,
I always thought it was a little salty though.
that's true. It does have a little bit more salt. All right, let's put this in there and break it up so it doesn't look like something else.
What you think it looks like.
Yeah. This is going to release. I didn't put any oil in here because this is going to release the oil as it cooks. And then that is what we're going to use to cook all the rest of our vegetables. And then when we add our cheeses, and I know it's about to smell real good here because I really like chorizo. It's really, really, really just a good, like, it's got some spice to it. It's got a great flavor profile. And, we're going to get that going. So I'm going to let that sort of cook, and then once it gets, I'm going to get a lot of surface because I want it to get brown bits on it. And it's going to be, those brown bits are going to be the real flavor, add a lot of flavor. So while that's happening, I'm going to, what does it say? Let's look at the recipe, make sure I'm doing it correct. We're doing a minced onion, so that'll make some time for that. Again, everything's going in together. So, yes, this is lime juice because Paloma's one, man, he is very happy or excited about the lime juice and the Paloma. But this is 20 limes worth of juice, freshly squeezed by Amy herself. So, she'll never let me live it down.
I should bring you guys one of my juicers.
Yeah, you should bring us one of your juices.
Yeah. Amy did get one of these things, which we're going to use for the grapefruit, which is good because I don't want to have to, this thing is so full right now. I'm going to
Of
swap
limes.
limes. How was everybody's week? This week was,
I have a question.
Amy has a question.
How do I tell people how to find this? Because I got people texting me. Just side dish cooking.
I don't have my phone, so
Where's your phone?
it's in the bedroom, I think. But well, Denise, I don't know if anybody hasn't subscribed.
I don't have my phone.
If you're subscribed to this channel, send that link to Amy so that she can then send it out to other people.
Yeah, because how do we send? Well, if I just send a past link that you've sent me, it's
Yes.
going to go to that old video, though, isn't it?
Yes, but you can click on it on your phone, go to that, and then go to the page, and then.
Oh, goodness. This seems like a lot.
Well, you
Okay.
asked me.
I know. Okay. I'm going to try. It's true. I did.
All right. So again, I'm just doing my standard mince here. I'm probably gonna turn this down just a teeny tiny. This thing tends to run hot that I have. I also want to have this so I can grab it. So this is starting to brown bits up. Ooh man, that smells really good.
Yeah.
One pot things. Amy loves that. Less cleaner.
I thought chorizo was like really fatty.
It has
That
a lot.
doesn't look.
It's breaking down. It's not as fatty as you would think. This is fresh chorizo. So, were you able to find it?
Yes, I got it.
You got it?
Yes.
Who's looking to
Thanks, Jan.
Who's looking to join us this evening?
Your sister's with us.
Hi, Fred.
Other folks are with us, but they're not talking.
That's okay. They'll get into the spirit once they figure out, how awesome we are. I do want to do a little shout out. I don't know who you are, but thanks for following me on Twitter. It's Kilowatt Podcast. It's about electric cars and stuff. I mean,
Awesome.
you share everything. If you're watching tonight, thanks for, tuning in. If I do know who you are, sorry, I don't know what your podcast and things is. But if not, so,
Electric car.
yeah, it's about 10 Tesla electric cars and sort of that kind of stuff. It's called, I'd have to look it up, but it's kilowatts. I'll post it in the.
Piper, are you in the kitchen?
She sure is.
Better get your booty out.
Okay. So again, this is probably riveting for you to watch me cut an onion for the millionth
So
time.
that's really fine.
Yeah, it's minced basically.
Okay.
Because it's gonna disappear in this. It's gonna have an oniony flavor and it's gonna be good. Gus doesn't think mincing is the right way.
He's
See?
not into it.
Mincing is not the way to go, according to Gus.
Yeah. But what does he know? He's not gonna lie for more than 6 months or whatever it is now. I don't know how old he is. But either way, he's a dog. He doesn't know anything about dog stuff. Which is
Dog stuff.
dog stuff. Dogs. You like dogs? I got one more to do this, and then whoa, that was a big boy bark.
Yeah.
That was a I don't like what's happening, or I like what's happening. He's in that phase of like, if you don't pay attention to him, he will bark. So, I wanted to poll people who are commenting or whatever. How's the sound? Is it too low? Do I sound echoey? It's been recommended maybe I can get a lapel mic or an LAV mic, which is basically that. And you can get wireless ones. So I want to look at if the sound is good enough. If you can't hear me, well, it's like half of this. It is audio visual.
I think people tune in to watch you and hear me. That's what
I
I
don't
think.
believe that.
They wait for the oil splatters.
All right.
Yeah. We weren't having that. I'm going to turn this down a little bit again because it is getting to that. Oh, yeah. Cast iron is going to be really good for this because it retains the heat, and it's also going to move it around. It's going to evenly move around the pan. So this is getting to the point where it's pretty close.
But how can you tell? Because it was pretty dark when it went in there.
Yeah, I think it's like crumbly. It doesn't have that raw feeling to it.
Texture
Yeah.
wise.
Yeah.
And it's not as fatty as I'm really quite shocked.
Oh.
I was thought, because when you get it in
The cheap stuff at the store is like that.
yeah, or even when you get it in some restaurants, it's like, ooh, there's like a
Yeah.
grease slick underneath whatever it is.
Well, we'll see what happens here when we get going. Maybe that'll happen. I don't know.
I think it's quality. I think you got it and said, yeah, I think you can feel good about it.
Cool.
Like,
See how Paige said that? Like
No.
it was just like second nature?
could you say that again?
Paige is multilingual.
She is. She's amazing.
Like, honey, study, yeah.
It's really great. I like going to those places because they're, it's like going to any other like specialty store.
Specialty.
And they have exactly what you want and what you're looking for flavor profile wise. You don't have to, you can do it yourself. I found a bunch of fajitas pre-mixed for beef and chicken there, and I was super excited because that's what we're having for dinner. And I was like, well, I don't have to worry about like cooking the chicken separately, cutting all the vegetables, and then putting a good sauce on them and stuff like that. You don't really have to do that. So, yeah, that's fine.
You turned it off?
I did because it's getting to be cooked, and I want to add these onions and the peppers here.
But you don't have to transfer the meat out to.
Nope, it's all cooked together. So,
One hot.
yep.
Skillet.
What else? What have we been doing? I mean, Amy's been sewing quite a bit. She's off. It's summer break.
Finally off on summer break.
School's out for summer, everybody.
You guys have been working on the Jeep.
Oh, yeah,
Got a
yeah.
little brown Jeep. We got the new carpet kit in there. We got new.
Floor liners,
We're getting a new seat for the
Bikini
driver's
top,
side.
backseat
We're
cover.
waiting for what is it? Sound bar.
Soundbar.
Yeah. So,
And then little brown Jeep is
ready for the summer.
awesome.
And then Amy always is we're talking, it's 1988, but now it's considered a classic vehicle. And we're like,
By the way, so are Kia Sophias.
Unbelievable.
which is the best part is that Amy called Denise on her way to work, like at 9:00 one day, and to tell her this. 'Cause
Best day this week.
I that just blew me away. Especially since first I was looking, I was like, gosh, wow, that's a Kia. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. And then I saw the license plate.
Well, you gotta figure, I mean, it is.
We need some better guidelines about classic
2000
vehicles.
was 20 years ago.
Don't say
21
hurtful
years
things
ago.
like that.
So, make sure that you think about that. It's not like you can say 20 years ago and you mean 1990. That's just not how it works.
Is classic car registration is that in other states?
I think so. I'm trying to think. I think so.
No. Okay.
Yeah, I think they need to up the years. My mom was talking about 1970s, like it was 30 years ago. I'm like, no, Mom.
That's 50 years ago, 1950s. So let's, yes, that seems like a as they would say, a shit ton of onions. But
Well, and we were talking about the age of things because I'm going to be 45, and that just
blows your mind.
yeah. How did?
Yeah.
I'm definitely not 45.
Right.
No way.
Agreed.
Into the pan. All of it. 'Cause
That's
again,
a lot.
well, it's nice. They were decent sized. This is, again, you're making a lot here.
I'm not opposed to it. It's just a lot.
It is.
I'm shocked.
So,
Probably right, it's gonna cook right in.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's gonna, Get all melty in there.
Yeah. It's gonna disappear because it's so small, chopped, or mincing. There's onion all over the floor over here. I mean, it looks like a baby is making. There's just food everywhere, Yeah.
That's why people tune in.
Yeah, because I'm insane. Okay,
See stuff like that.
I'm gonna take the seeds out of this. Now, hey.
Now let me see it in there. How big is no the seed part you ripped out? Oh, that's quite small.
You could dry these seeds and you could throw them and put them in your garden. And then you could have,
You don't think they engineered the?
I mean, probably. But
That'd be a real jerk move.
Well, they do.
yeah. I'm gonna keep that. And this also says to poblano, seeded and diced. So it doesn't say fine dice or mint. So we'll go with, about like that. When you get,
Somewhere between a quarter and a half.
yeah. So whatever that is, a third. Isn't that right? Do you guys know that?
Yes.
That in what's it? I think the early '90s, to compete with the quarter pounder at McDonald's, Burger King put out a 3rd pound burger. The problem is that people didn't buy it and it failed because people
thought a
thought a
third.
third was less than a quarter.
Oh my God.
Right. And that just tells you a lot about a lot. So,
Yes.
I mean, please tell me you all know that a quarter is
Well, and
less
if
than
you
a
didn't,
third.
now you do.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody that you don't learn anything on this show. But,
Educational
Yeah.
as well.
I always find that this is, it's funny because you think about people, I think math curriculum, it used to be not as easy to get. I think now you learn about the actual process of math, which leads me to a story that one time Amy came back from a math class that she was teaching and
I was taking.
Oh, that's right. And it was about educational math and, teaching kids math. And so we came and it was winter and we had a nice fire roaring in our wood fireplace in our old house. And maybe there were bottles of wine involved. And at one point, Amy says, do you know how you divide fractions? And I was like, well, yeah, you take one side, you flip it upside down and you multiply. And she goes, no, but do you know why you do that? And I was like, no. And so then, that meme of that woman and all the equations are flashing by her head? We spent 2 hours at least.
And a lot of notebook paper.
And 3 bottles of wine.
And some Sharpie markers.
And we worked out based on the internet and other things why you do that. I couldn't tell you now. I don't remember it off the top of my head. But I realized in that moment, I didn't really understand basic concepts of math because I was taught memorize things, memorize your times tables, memorize this.
You knew the formula, but you didn't know why the formula worked.
Right. And so without that why, I never was very successful in math. I mean, I never got past like basic algebra and even in high school. I mean, and college. So I feel like now they're teaching things based on what I know from what Amy tells me, that kids are learning about the concepts of math. They're not learning about that 5 + 5 is 10. They're talking about why that is.
And what does 5 really mean?
Yeah.
What does 10 really mean?
And when you think about it, why do we have a base 10 system of math? It's because you got 10 of these. And so if you had 12 fingers, you'd have a base 12. And so that was another thing we did one night.
Well, part of that class was we had to do everything in base 8.
That's right.
And these are, adult educators, and there were tears. Like, people were so frustrated. But it was really great because, like, that's how our students feel, right? Totally frustrated. I don't understand. Why is it like this? But yeah, it was hard.
And I think around the same time, my brother-in-law Ryan and my niece Alexis, was learning Common Core math at the same time, and her dad Ryan was trying to figure out a way to help her. But he's like of the same generation we are, where we didn't learn that. So it's when parents talk about Common Core math and why did we do it this way, and you can just you're showing the students how to do something.
But people still get like really upset.
Yeah, because there's misconceptions about what it actually is and what its intention is.
Right.
And so, but I didn't learn that way. So why is my kid? But if we thought about that as the way things were, I mean, that we would never advance in science and things like that, right? So, well, I didn't learn it that way. Well, maybe it's because we learned something new about how this works. So,
Okay, so I got one more comment about that.
Okay.
So it's like the whole 18 take away 9, right? So if you line up 18 on the top, take away 9 underneath. So what do a lot of people do? Like, oh, well, you can't take 9 away from 8. So you have to borrow from the 10s and move that 10 over here. Now you have 18, take away 9.
Right.
Same thing.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a misunderstanding about place value.
Sure. Because you're really
Like, I can't use that 10 unless I move it over. It already is.
But
over.
what I guess the other thing too is like we're talking about breaking things down, right? So that's what this is. It's like I started doing it because I looked into this more, and I started like when I look at a math problem now, even addition. Instead of knowing that 8 + 7 is 15, and then 2 + 3 is 5, and that's going to give me blah blah blah. It's going to give me 65. What am I doing?
I'm zooming in on the food real quick.
You can break that down and get a better idea of like take this away from this to get this, and then take this, add this to this, and you get it. So you take the 2 away from the 7, you get 5, and then
You work with numbers flexibly.
Exactly. So we should be thinking about that, as you're, I know you didn't tune in to get math advice, but I find it interesting that it's like that's how we're going to do this. Okay, so we're going to saute those, and they're completely cooked about 7 to 10 minutes. It says drain excess moisture. There is not a ton in here.
Well, there might be after the onions sweat out.
Exactly. That's a great point. And now I'm going to take this was, I think, 1 pound of cheese. So I'm just giving it a grate in here. Again,
You found the cheese grater. I moved it.
Yeah, I know. Believe me.
What are you, Olga?
She didn't tell me, and I'm like searching for it the other day and cursing her name. I will post.
You mean you were like, I wonder where my love put the cheese grater?
No, it's not for fun.
I'm sure that there's plenty of times where you're like,
It looks like it grates like mozzarella.
it really
Yeah.
does. It's like rote. It's like string cheese almost.
Can I have a piece of it? Just
That might mess with the recipe.
I'd like to know.
I don't think so. But.
Oh yeah, it is quite salty.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just goes.
Salty mozzarella.
We're gonna when I get all the cheese grated here, I'm then going to.
What's that move you're doing? Grating your hand.
No, I got a
That's how you
flat.
do it.
I got a flat pole.
I know, I'm teasing you. I'm gonna show the recipe again.
Okay. Now I also what you see on your screen is and what I'm cooking is a double recipe from what I discovered on a few things, and the reason why is just because I didn't have a 9-inch cast iron pan, and I have this big one, so.
So this is double a recipe.
Yeah. A couple of, I doubled some recipes, and then I just was like, okay, here's the basic proportions. I doubled them up.
So you could make half of this.
Yeah. If you're having a party, people are going to be really happy you made this much.
Yeah, don't make half.
So, all right, so let's stir this up. Because, so the onions are starting to release some of their juices. The peppers are going to get nice. Oh, yeah. I think that was a good amount of that. I think if we had too much of that, it would be too much.
Too much pepper?
Yeah. But if you want it more, if you like that.
But that onion really is cooking down into yummy.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. So, I can tell you it smells real good in here right now.
Oh,
It's
hold
like-
on. My fingers aren't working. Okay.
Fingers aren't working?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So, and then Monterey Jack cheese. Now, I'm going to have to guesstimate on this because this is
You could weigh it. You have a scale right behind you.
yeah, it is. It's a 2-pound.
Whoa.
Let's see what this is left, and then it is 1 pound 13 ounces, so almost 2 pounds still. So this might be a 5 pound. Nope, 2-pound block. So get that off to the side. Oh, look at this piece.
Cheese.
It's gonna be gooey and delicious. So I'm gonna go like 3/4 of this block. Doesn't that seem like too much?
Nope. Seems great.
Yeah. I mean, the name is Queso Fundido. Fundido.
And it's not very fundido if you have less
That's right.
cheese.
We've had our share of Queso Fundido at different restaurants. Hey Piper, are you the chef?
She really wants to help today.
Maybe.
She
Yeah.
smells that chorizo and she's
Yeah,
like,
it's really good. Oh, let's talk about that. So I got a new trigger. 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Yes. 2 weeks.
And last week we had our friends John and Adriana over for a brisket that I made.
Delicious.
It was unbelievable. Traegers make it really easy. I'm not one of those guys who's going to get up at 4 a.m. and get everything ready and then start doing that. The Traeger makes it super easy. But we had a nice dinner. Amy was getting ready, putting some stuff away in the back room, and I was somewhere else. And we were letting the brisket cool on the counter. Obviously not far enough from the edge because I came back out and I went to the bedroom where Amy was putting some laundry away or whatever. And I said, "Did you put the brisket away?" And she's like, "No." Come to find out that the dogs have themselves a little brisket treat.
Big brisket.
We don't know who
Big.
pulled it off or what the deal is, but they really had themselves a nice time. And so
Is that before you guys had any?
We'd had dinner luckily, but
we were able
there was
to
still quite a
cut
bit
off the
left.
outside a little bit and we made brisket sandwiches the next day. Oh my god, that was so good.
But then while cleaning it up,
Oh yeah,
I slipped in the grease
that they had left on the
and
ground.
hurt myself.
So
So they're on my list.
get out of the kitchen.
Gus the dog, are you in the kitchen?
Piper the dog is also in the kitchen, so she really wants to help here. All right, so what I'm going to do,
Okay, I'm zooming in again so we can see what's
Yeah.
happening.
it's really, oh man, there's a lot of onion in here, but a lot of it is sort of breaking down and getting into this. Oh, look at the coloring on it. It's going to be, it's so good.
Camera really doesn't do it justice.
It does not. Trying to think. Work's been fairly consistent. We've got a lot going on. Summertime is my group's busy season at the university. So shout out to the crew for getting it done. We lost one of my longtime students, Fee, to graduation, so he's going to get a new job next well, not next week.
How should we say that? We shouldn't say it like that. We should
He
say
graduated into the world, so hopefully I prepared him well enough that he will do good at his job. So, oh, I'm choking on my own spit.
I thought it was.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, that is queso
Wow.
fundido.
Okay, now I know what you're thinking, Doug. That seems like too much cheese. You'd be wrong. Okay, so
I wasn't
wait.
thinking that at all.
we're gonna make 4 palomas while this gets sort of more happy. I'm gonna make one, pass it around, stir, make another one. So this is pretty easy to do. We've got
Oh, do you need your shaker thing?
no, it's behind me. I actually do it all in the glass.
Oh.
So you need 2 ounces of tequila. I'm gonna just, you know what? I'm just gonna make them all since I've got everything here.
Okay.
No.
And then you're like, but Doug, there's no ice in that glass. I'm getting there. I was thoroughly, that was 1, right?
Yeah, 1.
Okay, somebody needs to be watching
2.
this. Either that or somebody's getting an extra strong one.
1, 2.
Okay, not a lot of tequila drinks the last few weeks for us,
Yeah.
but they're really good. Okay, so next we've got this, we got grapefruit. That's where this comes in. Okay, so I think I'm gonna push this forward and put, I didn't. Should I get a bowl
For what?
for the cheese?
No.
Okay.
Just cut on there. You can cut on there. You're just cutting it in half.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, I meant the counter, but
Okay. Grapefruits. Hopefully now we'll see how this thing actually works. Ooh, this grapefruit is warm because it was near the flame.
That could help the juice come out.
Yeah. The juice. Not like OJ. Okay. I really laid into that one. But, I mean,
oh, it's good.
pretty decent amount. I need 2 ounces of this
Per drink.
per drink. I have 4 of them, so I think we're gonna be fine.
Okay.
These things are really handy, I would like to say. Now I've got a lot of pulp there, so
So then you just pull it off.
like this.
Yeah. And dump the pulp out.
Well, there's some juice in there still. I gotta kind of give it a place to go. First time using it, I'm sure you can tell. So.
Probably won't kill us to have a little pulp in our drink either.
Probably not.
Fiber.
There's plenty of pulp in there.
Fiber.
Fiber. That's what will happen if you get a lot of fiber. Okay. Ooh. I probably should have juiced these earlier too, and just done one of them, but you know, such is life.
Mer-
The stir,
I think you should be cutting those the other direction.
probably. Probably a good point. All right, so this is gonna be done. I'm gonna let, this is getting to that point. Hold, because this has to go in the oven for like 5 minutes, so we can finish the ribs at that time.
Okay.
Oh, man, choking on my own spit, everyone. Stir in the shredded cheese and transfer to the oven.
You know, turn the heat off.
Yes. That's good. That's why there's a team effort. Okay.
So, right?
You're like, it might be,
Can I make a suggestion?
no?
Yeah, put that in. Mix that all around and then top it with that cheese that's left.
Okay.
Did you say no?
We're just
So
seeing
rude.
if you were listening. More than me. This is a lot of cheese, so it's going to take a lot of stirring here.
A lot of muxin.
Oh, but it's going to be real, real good.
Good. Thank you for doing that. Ooh, don't need any burns tonight.
Yeah. Oh, you can already tell. Oh, Oh my goodness, it's already getting super stringy and delicious. Yeah. This is, wow, something else.
I love it when you make stuff and you're so impressed with yourself. This is wow.
You know, I gotta tell you, if you have been watching this show for 55 episodes, you realize that I am amazed when we get to this part. Because sometimes I'm like, I didn't believe it. Oh, man. Best part of this is when you put it in the oven, this is going to really turn into molten cheese. And when you get into it, oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay. Now, per Amy's request, and the right thing to do,
Oh, yeah.
that's a smart move. It's got a little grapefruit taste to it. But everybody, hey Gus, you getting some cheese down there? Some onion? Cool. Cool.
Andrea says you're missing the Velveeta cheese. She also got confused for a second and thought you were adding tequila to the dip.
Okay, first of all, don't trust what Andrea says because she wears socks with sandals. So. All right, into the oven this is going to go. Let's open the oven first. Have your rack on the second top because you got a deeper pan. And then, in you go. Let it. And this can easily, cast iron easily goes in there. So I'm going to do 5 minutes and we'll check on it. And then, oh, look at that. Denise is getting chips ready. Okay, let's move this bad boy. Do a little cleanup while that's happening so I can.
What?
I know.
You don't even know how to do that.
See, this is the chastising I have to put up with, folks. Hosted a show and it's like all the time.
Yep, your life is rough.
I know it is. All right, so you're saying I should go like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because see, now you have access to all the little things.
Sure. She's right. Ooh, sounds delightful.
Squishy.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 ounces tequila, 2 ounces grapefruit juice.
Yes, 2 ounces grapefruit juice, 2 ounces of sparkling water, which, if you're like us here, if you're lucky enough, we have a kegerator, and one of the bays in the kegerator is just water that we carbonate. So you could use club soda if you wanted to. There's a lot of recipes that say using club soda, and really that's just mineral. It has minerals and stuff in it. So
I reject that. And then simple syrup.
1/4 ounce of simple syrup. But as to taste, if you want more, I'm just going to do a 1/2 ounce because that's what I have. I'm not going to eyeball 1/4 ounce because, you know, we're fancy like that.
And this is the simple syrup we made.
Yes.
And then the lime juice, yeah? How much lime juice?
Oh, yeah, 1/2 ounce of lime juice. We may go 1 ounce for that. We'll see. I want to taste it and then go from there.
I
Again,
want to juice out of the one. So.
okay, so I'm just, again, breaking the juice down here.
You might have enough in there for.
At least for a couple, right?
You don't have to take that off. See how it has a spout.
Oh, yeah, it does have a pour spout. This is fancy.
It might be too big, though. I have doubts. No, it's okay.
We'll see.
Oh,
Oh, boy. He just loves the bark. He's just happy about the world, so he's just barking it up.
It's my fault because I gave him a little chip.
Oh. A little chip. We're probably getting 3, and we might get 4. We'll see.
That's beautiful. Look at the color.
mm-hmm.
We have ones who just use squirts.
Yeah, so that.
Oh yeah, there you go. Squirt.
It does say in a lot of the recipes to use grapefruit soda, but I think they're talking about like maybe like actual like next.
Fresca is Fresca grapefruit. Yeah.
There's a Fresca flavor. I think of
Grapefruit.
grapefruit. It's the
It's gonna have
grapefruit.
much more flavor though.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's do a half ounce of our fresh squeezed lime juice. The real star of this is the grapefruit juice. So I'm not sure how this looks on camera. I hope it looks good.
I probably should zoom in.
And now, do you want it? You can do it like a margarita, where you put salt on the rim, but you know, you don't want to do that. Ooh,
That one's a little sweeter than the others.
So then, this is where the ice comes in. So I've got ice in this ice bucket. I know, I thought I had. Amy was really surprised. And then you just fill each glass up with ice till it's at the top. There you go, mix it up. Don't drink it all at once because it'll.
It's pretty.
Yeah, they are great. You can-
Yeah, they're so peachy colored.
Nice color.
I like that we added cocktails to this because then you can have a cocktail. You know?
Year 2 cocktail.
Ooh, 9 seconds until we pull that out. Well, at least we take a look at it and see if it's any good. How is it?
It doesn't suck.
Is it boozy?
It is boozy.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. There's one. There's another. Okay, let's check this out. See where we're at. Sure, this is all to the side, so we can just set it right here on the counter. Okay. Yes. Get your timer. Oh. Oh man!
Best reaction yet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That is what you're looking for, everyone.
Look at that.
That looks amazing.
Yeah, it is. Watch out,
A
Piper.
cheese volcano. What?
Okay, we definitely don't need that. So that was 5 minutes. That's perfect. That's what you're looking for. Look at that, like crustiness. That's also we put that cheese on top. Great idea, Abe.
Thanks.
Yeah. Let's mix these cocktails up a little bit. Let's see how they taste.
They're so pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Salud.
Salud, everyone. Mm. I think it was good upping the simple syrup to half ounce.
Yes.
Okay, now the next thing, really, basically, is we're just going to garnish. So I'm just going to take this Roma tomato and just make it into little chops here, and then I'm gonna let this sort of not be lava when I put it into my mouth. So
Where's the fun in that, Doug?
I mean, there are people who just come to watch me get burned by oil. So. Okay. Now you could. It says to do 2 for the regular recipe. So just see what happens here.
You could put some of your fresh pico and look at everything else.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
If you just have good fresh pico, you can totally do that. You know how to make it. We did it last week or the week before. Can't remember. Oh, we did it with baked beans or refried beans and Spanish rice, right?
I don't know. Did we?
Yeah, because that was I think the three things that night. I don't know. This shows.
I'm just here for the drinks.
You heard it here first, folks.
They've known that.
She's just here for the drinks.
They've known that. They listen to my glass clink and
Yeah. She has to have a little thing.
the wine go glug, glug, glug.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so.
Ooh, careful of that. That's hot over there.
Yeah, that's-
Definitely.
that adds a nice amount of brightness to it. And then we're also going to add the a little bit of chopped cilantro. Now I saw this guy making like chicken masala or something like that the other day, or some dish that required cilantro, and he literally was like,
That's very smart. Look at how well that works.
and I was like, I mean, he had a much sharper knife apparently, but right? I was like, I watched him do it, and I was like, that is a genius move.
I'm stealing that.
Yeah. Plus it looks pretty cool. So. I'm doing just a basic once through. I'm looking for the garnished look, not for, I'm not actually probably going to use all that. We'll use it for the, so yeah.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, that is
Nice.
Might be up there for the prettiest dish we made.
I'm gonna zoom in.
Okay.
Yeah,
Look at that.
that looks great.
Fundido. Here's to not burning the roof of my mouth, everyone.
Oh, be careful.
Oh.
Did they get that ice bucket?
You got it zoomed in?
Mm-mm.
Let's get this zoomed in so you can get it nice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be hot.
Ooh, this.
Oh, it is hot. It is cheesy and delicious. Holy moly. Well,
Fundito.
I mean, it's got everything you want. Cheese, meat, tomato. Better have a little bit of this in. You didn't get to try last week's. Oh, that's gonna come off. Don't let
Good catch.
Is oh god.
it.
I didn't drop it on the keyboard.
Fundito everywhere.
I'm afraid. Is it super hot?
It's not too bad. Blow on it.
I
first,
think
but
you're lying.
It's really good though. I'll tell you that much. Better than any store bought that I've ever had. It's really good.
And not greasy.
Exactly. I think it's good chorizo.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that. 7:48, right on time. We've made a cocktail and
Yum.
and you saw some tomfoolery. I mean, if that's not fun,
Why you're here.
I don't know what it is. So, what do we know? We know that we can do this. We thank you very much for coming and watching me do this. We know that we love you all very much. And remember, be kind, be loyal, and do something nice for somebody this week. We love you so much. We'll see you next week.
Oh, what's happening? Oh, I'm supposed to use this. Sorry, folks. Yep, there you go. Keep doing it.